Former AEW and WWE World Champion CM Punk was reportedly backstage at the Impact Wrestling tapings in Chicago over the weekend, and also an update on the likelihood he could possibly cross the line and sign with Impact Wrestling moving forward. Details on that, plus Will Ospreay has reflected on his experience with Impact Wrestling, details on his future with the news that he has reportedly acquired the services of Super Wrestling agent Barry Bloom to negotiate what his next contract is going to be amid his contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling expiring next year. Could he also go to Impact? Details on that, plus Trick Williams. Who attacked Trick? Well, we've got an update on the storyline in NXT with those reportedly keeping the identity of the attacker pretty close to the vest. Brock Lesnar is not booked for Crown Jewel, and we'll let you know why. Corr, Jade, an update on her NXT status, an update on where you can stream and watch Ring of Honor Final Battle, the pay-per-view upcoming for Ring of Honor, and Brock Anderson also confirms his AEW exit. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's get straight into this. Let's start off talking about CM Punk. And whilst he wasn't at Bound for Glory, and say maybe some were expecting he could show up, CM Punk did show up, not on television, but certainly backstage at the Impact Wrestling tapings the following day in Chicago. This was an exclusive that was broken by Nick Houseman of House of Wrestling. Really, who else when it comes to all news CM Punk? Of course, Impact Wrestling presented Bound for Glory this past Saturday from Cicero Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. Now, the event created some buzz for the promotion when they announced they were rebranding back to TNA Wrestling, a move that seems to be largely well received. Some backstage news also made waves. As per PW Insider, they reported that former WWE and AEW producer Ace Steel was seen backstage working as a producer at the event. Now, there was apparently some talk of having him wrestle in the Call Your Shot gauntlet, but that was shot down as the company did not want to get fans' hopes up that CM Punk, his good friend, would be appearing. Punk was not at Bound for Glory as he was at the Chicago Blackhawks opening game, but House of Wrestling are reporting that they have learned that while CM Punk was not at Bound for Glory, he did in fact attend the Impact Wrestling on Access TV tapings that following day, also in the same location. Now, Nick Houseman has been told that CM Punk showed up just before the tapings began, around 6:30 p.m. local time, around that period of time, and was taken to the locker room area. Of course, Punk attended an Impact event this past April, once again in Chicago, that created a lot of attention as he was still off AEW television at the time following his infamous all-out media scrum and brawl-out incident, as well as recovering from tricep surgery. This time, reportedly to avoid a scene, he showed up closer to the bell time and due to the sun setting earlier this time of the year, arrived while it was dark outside. Therefore, no one saw him actually arrive, and it wasn't all over social media like it was previously. Now, while backstage, House of Wrestling have been told that Punk was talking with anyone who wanted to get some time with him, including, quote, key Impact talent, that's a quote there, that he spoke to throughout the taping. Now, since he had attended a taping earlier this year, House of Wrestling have been told that his presence did not faze any of the talent, and they were more used to his presence being backstage. One person that Nick Houseman has been told he did not get to spend too much time around was actually, ironically enough, Ace Steel, who also served as a producer at the post-Bound for Glory Impact television tapings. House of Wrestling have been told that Steele was warmly received backstage and seemed very happy to be back at work. Now, a bit more to this because many people said, well, Ace Steele's now working with Impact Wrestling. CM Punk was backstage at the post-Bound for Glory Impact Wrestling TV tapings. Is there a chance? Is there an opportunity we could see CM Punk at the very least appear on Impact Wrestling television, particularly with the rebranding into TNA Wrestling in 2024, with Impact promising they were going to be running bigger and more prestigious venues moving forward? Could CM Punk be a central part of all of that? Well, according to Sean Rossap of Fightful Select, it seemed as if a lot of people thought there was a possibility that Punk could join the company at Bound for Glory this weekend. Of course, clearly that didn't happen. Now, Fightful had reported recently that while it was clearly a long shot, Impact Wrestling and those associated with it were open to CM Punk coming into the company. Punk appeared backstage months ago and made a good impression on many there and got along with a number of people on the roster, seemingly enjoying his time there as well. As House of Wrestling reported, Punk was indeed backstage on Sunday at the Impact tapings and was seen as very helpful by those in attendance. Ace Steel was brought into the company to work as a producer, which many saw as a sign the company wanted to get to Punk. However, Impact had been interested in Ace Steel while he had been let go from AEW the first time round when Punk wasn't available. If you recall at the time, Impact Wrestling reportedly made an offer to Ace Steel, only to find out at the time he had already re-signed with AEW and been brought back at the request of CM Punk, who was about to make his return to AEW television. Now, a few weeks ago, those close to CM Punk claimed they didn't think he'd want to join the company, but also said that if CM Punk woke up one day and just decided he wanted to go wrestle Josh Alexander or the Motor City Machine Guns, he likely could if he wanted to, with another person in touch with CM Punk saying that he would do so under the right circumstances. Again, this comes from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, suggesting that under the right circumstances, CM Punk would be interested in maybe wrestling Josh Alexander or Alex Shelley at an Impact Wrestling event. Now, obviously, the biggest hurdle on the surface and the outside looking in would be money, would be the salary, as CM Punk in AEW was annually making about 15 to 20 times what a lot of the top Impact Wrestling wrestlers are currently making. So the question becomes, and I'll put this one to you guys, do you think there is a chance? Do you think there is an opportunity we could see CM Punk in Impact Wrestling, soon to be TNA Wrestling, considering now Ace Steel is working there, CM Punk has been backstage there? Or do you think the salary will be too much to overcome? Do you think it's just a case of they were in Chicago, so CM Punk visited backstage, his friend now works there, so he visited there again? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think there's any chance we could see CM Punk wrestling in an Impact Wrestling, soon to be TNA Wrestling ring, or is it a bit far-fetched? Let me know your thoughts and reaction to all of this in the comments section below. Now, another name that people have been linking to Impact Wrestling is none other than Will Ospreay. Of course, that's after he appeared at Bound for Glory this past weekend and had one of the matches of the year. Now, Impact Wrestling held its 2023 Bound for Glory event on October 21st, which ended with a big announcement. It was announced that Impact Wrestling would be no more, with the company set to return to its old TNA name and branding starting at the January 2024 Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Now, current IWGP UK champion, United States champion, Will Ospreay was also in action on the show, defeating Mike Bailey in an incredible bout, and now he's taken to Twitter to react to the change and also the company's recent growth. Here's what Ospreay had to say. He said, quote, "I have had the best time at Impact Wrestling, from fan experience to quality of wrestling. I honestly believe that the reason they have climbed back from such a deep trench is because that place is one big team. The moment they said we are TNA, I said yes, they are." Obviously, a lot of people are talking about Will Ospreay's future, and it has been reported today from PW Insider that Will Ospreay has hired Barry Bloom to represent him in future negotiations. Of course, Bloom currently also handles the likes of Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Chris Jericho, and others in professional wrestling. He is really the original super agent and handles a lot of the big contract negotiations. According to PW Insider, the belief is that Ospreay is setting up Bloom to get him the best big money offer possible when he hits the free market next year and once his contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling expires. As I mentioned, Bloom represents a who's who of pro wrestling big name, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Chris Jericho, and more. In the past, he's also represented the likes of Kevin Nash, Scott Hall getting their contracts with WCW during the Monday Night Wars, Jesse Ventura, and much more. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, he is reporting that WWE and AEW were actually made aware of Ospreay hiring Barry Bloom as far back as August. Ospreay's current deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling expires in February 2024, and he has said he'll listen to offers from all promotions. Ospreay, of course, has been very active throughout this year, wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, Impact Wrestling, and various independent promotions in the United States and the United Kingdom too. As far as Impact Wrestling's interest in Will Ospreay, speaking, I guess, earlier on about CM Punk and money and TNA Wrestling and money and salary and things of that nature, Will Ospreay, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, had a very positive experience in Chicago this weekend at Impact Wrestling shows and noted he wanted to come back before his New Japan deal is up in February. Fightful have been told by several that Ospreay's next contract will likely be heavily financially motivated and has realized this will be the most important deal of his career. Earlier this year, he'd been keen on staying with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he's since opened up his options. So he has, as we mentioned, hired Barry Bloom in the spring of this year, and AEW and WWE were made aware of this. So it looks like Ospreay's now much more open than he was previously. Previously, he said, I just want to stay with New Japan. I want to be their AJ Styles. I want to be that person you associate the most with that company. But now, considering he's realized maybe how his body's feeling and his in-ring style perhaps catching up to him, he realizes this contract is going to be the biggest and most important of his career. So WWE, AEW, Impact, New Japan, whatever, they're all on the table right now. So where do you think Will Ospreay will end up? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Really interested to know what you guys have to say about that. Now, Trick Williams, who attacked Trick? It's one of the bigger storylines right now on NXT television. Who was behind the attack of Trick Williams? On last Tuesday's edition of NXT, Trick Williams had the opportunity of a lifetime in front of him, scheduled as a last-minute addition to the matchup to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship. Trick was attacked backstage before that match could even happen, taking him out of contention of the bout. In the end, Carmelo Hayes would win the matchup after being moments too late on the scene of Trick's attack, earning a shot at Ilya Dragunov for Halloween Havoc. The episode would end without any indication as to who was behind the attack, with fans speculating throughout the week who indeed was the perpetrator. Since Tuesday night's show, Bodyslam.net are reporting that they have been asking around with NXT sources about the attack and if there was any indication on the identity of Trick's attacker. Bodyslam.net are reporting they were told from multiple sources that WWE are looking to keep the attacker's identity close to the vest, with very few people in the know about how the storyline is going to play out across the brands. Of course, we'll have to wait and see who the attacker is. What are your thoughts, though? Who are your predictions as to who attacked Trick Williams? Let me know your thoughts and predictions about that in the comment section below. Now, Brock Lesnar. We are not going to be seeing the Beast in the Middle East at Crown Jewel. Brock Lesnar won't be in action when WWE holds Crown Jewel on Saturday, November 4, 2023 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Lesnar is on another hiatus from WWE after wrapping up his feud with Cody Rhodes that started after WrestleMania 39, where they worked 3 matches with their final bout coming at SummerSlam earlier this year. Lesnar is expected to return to WWE in January for the Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania 40. With Lesnar not being booked for Crown Jewel, it will mark the first time he hasn't been used for a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view event since WWE inked the deal to host 2 events per year in the country in 2018. PW Insider reports that Lesnar is not being used for the show due to WWE feeling that the show was jam-packed with enough attraction type of matches and appearances thanks to the likes of Logan Paul, John Cena, LA Knight, and undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Thus, they felt it was best to save Lesnar for a future show in the market. So Lesnar is not going to be present or booked for a match at that event. Again, it's likely we'll see Lesnar possibly at the Royal Rumble, but you never know what could happen between now and then. Now, what's going on with Corr Jade in NXT at the moment? Well, there's some more information, but it's still pretty murky right now. Corr Jade has been off NXT television for quite some time now, as she hasn't competed on NXT TV since July 25th. The 22-year-old has remained active on social media during her hiatus. Jade took to social media on October 22nd, that being yesterday, and told fans to stop asking her to return to NXT. Jade also posted to social media back to the blockbuster October 10th edition of the show, suggesting she was interested in a possible return soon. Despite these posts and others, Jade has not made her return to the developmental brand as of this recording. Following Jade's latest post asking fans to stop asking for her return, Bodyslam.net asked around within NXT to sources about Corr Jade's status amid her hiatus. They were told that Jade has been absent from taping since she walked out on NXT during the August 1st edition of the show, and there has been no timetable for when she will return to the brand. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Corr Jade, but as of right now, she hasn't even been present or backstage for any of the tapings either. An update on Ring of Honor Final Battle, because it's a pay-per-view, but it doesn't look like maybe it's actually going to be carried on pay-per-view. Ring of Honor Final Battle is set to exclusively air on Honor Club. As previously reported, Ring of Honor will hold their final pay-per-view of 2023 with Ring of Honor Final Battle, which will emanate from the Curtis Colwell Center in Garland, Texas on December 15. Previously, Ring of Honor events have aired on Fight, Bleacher Report, and it has been tested on Honor Club as well. Ring of Honor has officially announced that Final Battle 2023 2023 will exclusively stream on the Honor Club subscription service. It's possible that Final Battle will ultimately air on other platforms, but as of this recording, it's being advertised as an Honor Club exclusive. The event is not currently listed on Fight, but of course, that could change as well. We'll continue to monitor this. If we see any changes in this moving forward, we'll let you know. But as of right now, the only way to watch it is if you subscribe to Honor Club. Finally, Brock Anderson, he's confirmed his departure from AEW. On October 20, Brock Anderson was removed from the official AEW roster page. Fightful Select later confirmed that Brock's AEW contract had expired and was not renewed. Taking to social media, Brock confirmed his departure, saying, quote, "To those who've supported me and helped me, thank you. To my detractors, that's your right to an opinion. All I can do, to quote Dustin Rhodes, keep stepping on to the next chapter. Hashtag pro wrestling." Now, Brock last wrestled on the August 12 episode of AEW Collision, losing to Luchasaurus in an AEW TNT Championship bout. Brock had been used on AEW Dark throughout the beginning of the year and had also appeared on Ring of Honor television too. So there you go, guys. This is the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.